Okay, so I didn't really think I would do this because I gave some brief final thoughts after finishing Sonic Generations, but I did want to give some real final thoughts that are focused solely on Shadow Generations. Because, again, I only focused on Sonic Generations really before, and I just didn't feel like that was fair to Shadow Generations, which is, you know, it's the whole playthrough here. It's all focused on Shadow Generations. The Sonic portion was just a tidbit at the end. That said, Sonic Generations it's still fine. It's still the same game with a few changes that you may or may not enjoy. If you enjoyed Sonic Generations originally, you'll still probably enjoy it now. That's all there really is to say about it. I was critical of Sonic Generations solely on the new changes, not the game itself. If you felt like actually playing Sonic Generations, you're going to enjoy playing it. Now, with that done, with that mentioned, I want to go back and focus on Shadow Generations, because that's the big new thing, and also because I didn't really give any in-depth thoughts during like the credit sequence and the clip before this and all that. It's tough to say, but Shadow Generations is fighting with Frontiers for my personal favorite Sonic game. It's a shorter experience than Frontiers, but its overall quality is vastly greater than Frontiers. That's not to say Frontiers' quality was poor or anything, but Shadow Generations is simply on another level. The presentation is incredible, the gameplay is truly fun, the animation is on a level we've never seen Sonic games at before. It's even higher than Frontiers' animation. And all three of these factors, they mix together to create this bundle of pure perfection in a Sonic game. My problems with Shadow Generations are so incredibly insignificant compared to all the positives I've had with this game. I think the one problem I actually had with the game was the Doom Morph ability, which half of that problem was, admittedly, just a skill issue, and not being able to master the ability that well. I think as I played the game more, I started to realize, oh, you can do this with the ability, or you can't do this with the ability. It takes a lot longer to get used to that ability than the other abilities. That's it. That is the one singular issue I had with Shadow Generations. There was no lag, there were no quality drops anywhere. There was no low-quality objects in the distance. There was nothing. Now, back on praises, bosses are an incredible and balanced combo of spectacle and gameplay. All of the boss fights nail it every single time without fail. I think the one boss I actually had like a very slight issue with was Mephiles, and that's because sometimes I would hit his arm hitbox or collision or whatever before the arm actually touched the ground, which was a little janky. Sometimes I just couldn't hit him because the Doom Morph is what it is, and that was pretty much it. Otherwise, the Mephiles fight was good, it was fun, but it's just that one little issue I had because of the arms and the Doom Morph and all that. Bio Lizard, very fun fight. Metal Overlord, also very fun. All the bosses are good. That's all that really needs to be said about them. Level design was maybe the most shocking part of this game to me. I knew it had the chance to be outstanding, but my expectations were completely and utterly shattered. All of the 3D levels were fantastic, they were long, and were able to keep their good quality throughout the entire stage. The quality didn't drop ever. There weren't sections that were less fun than others, they were all fun the whole way through. Then, maybe the most shocking bit of all for the levels in this game, the 2D levels were also incredible. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how Sonic Team did it. I don't know what they were on for this game. They've made 2D modern Sonic levels that last a good amount of time, while also being really fun to play. The Act 2s of Kingdom Valley and Sunset Heights, they floored me. I cannot sing my praises for those two stages enough. It's not like Frontiers where maybe you had good 2D levels every now and then, but they were really short. They're long, they're good to play, they're fun to play the whole way through. It's It's shocking. Like, truly shocking. And I'm really impressed they actually did it. I feel like if I say any more thoughts, it'll just start being redundant, because it's just all praises. I have very little issues with this game. It is, admittedly, a nearly perfect, if not perfect, Sonic game. With all my praises and thoughts said, do I think the game is worth your money? Is it worth your 50 USD? At its full price right now, probably, and also probably not. I do think it is an incredible Sonic game, one that might just be the best in the series, hands down, but I find a hard time saying it's worth $50. This is mainly due to it being only a couple hours long, given how long my playthrough is. Like, the whole playthrough is uncut. There are no cuts. Okay, that's kind of a lie. There are some very small cuts for like maybe a minute when I pause the game and have to go do something real quick. That's it. Like, I think only like a few minutes of my playthrough were cut. That's it. The rest is completely untouched. That said, you can see that Shadow Generations is somewhere in the 4 to 6 hour range, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. Depends on who you are and how good you play. Also, because it's packaged with Sonic Generations, which is pretty much just a re-release. It is just the same game. No gameplay changes in Generations aside the drop dash and yada yada. I do think the package deal is good, but at the same time, part of me finds it very easy to say it's worth 50 USD. It's just that good of a game in front of a time. I just don't know. Whether or not it's worth the price tag right now is something I leave to you to decide. I personally struggle saying it's worth it or not worth it. But maybe wait a couple months for a decent sale before getting this game. If you're not dying to play this game right now, it's not the biggest. Wait a couple months for a good sale and come back and check on it. If you don't mind the price tag, please buy it. It is worth your time, it is worth your money. I know it's conflicting to everything I just said, but this is more so if you're like a diehard Sonic fan like I am. It is worth it. Shadow Generations is a phenomenal experience, and you also get the side dish of Sonic Generations, which is still a fine game. That's all I really have to say. If you're a diehard Sonic fan and you really want to play this, buy it. If you're not dying to play this game, you don't need to play it right now. Just check back on it in the future and play it then. I can only hope the next mainline Sonic game after this is on this level of quality or exceeds it. This is truly a new level for Sonic games. That's all. See ya.